Amelia Morris, Chief Communications Officer for the City of Des Moines. Welcome to City Talk. The City of Des Moines wants to communicate with you, and we are reaching out to residents using a number of media tools: print, TV, internet, and social media. Laura Graham from the City Manager's Office is here to tell us how the city is staying in touch. And this wonderful warm weather that we've been enjoying is an opportunity to get an early start on construction season. Just about anywhere you travel across the city, you will see projects underway by the city's engineering department. Everything from bridges to street improvements. City engineer Jeb Brewer will give us an update. We have some real news that you can use, so stay tuned. City Talk will be right back after these messages.
Visit Des Moines, we have it all.
Welcome back. Media in all its different forms has been rapidly changing the way we get information and communicate with each other. New technologies are constantly being introduced in our society, and both business and government must adapt. My first guest is Laura Graham from the City Manager's Office, and she is coordinating a number of communication pieces that will provide you with information about the City of Des Moines, from a citywide survey to social media. Laura, welcome to City Talk.
Thanks, it's great to be here.
Well, we know that communications is a two-way street. And for several years now, Des Moines has been focused on improving the lines of communication with residents by implementing the ETC Direction Finder survey. The most recent survey was coordinated by Laura Graham in the City Manager's Office. So Laura, please, first of all, tell us, how does the survey work?
So we contract with a survey firm, ETC Institute, out of Kansas, who administers the survey. And the survey is sent out in the mail to various households and businesses across the city, and then follow-ups are done if we don't have enough responses, then by telephone.
Okay. How often do we conduct this survey?
Well, the survey is generally conducted every 2 years.
And do we make sure we cross the entire city? You know, we have 4 wards. And I know that there's a magic number in terms of survey samples. What's the number?
Right, so we do try to make sure that our responses are equitable across our corporate boundaries. This most recent survey had more than 800 residents that were surveyed, and then over 400 businesses.
Give us some of the highlights of the survey. What did we learn? What are Des Moines residents saying about our community?
Well, overall, our citizens and businesses are satisfied with the quality of life in Des Moines. The responses came back with over 90% of our residents being satisfied or very satisfied with the overall quality of life here in Des Moines. We also have benchmarks, and so in the 42 areas that were compared in the benchmarking analysis, the city of Des Moines had higher ratings than other cities, between 100,000 and 250,000 in 27 areas. Lower ratings in only 14 areas, and one area was the same. What that really means is we're setting the standard across the country for cities of similar sizes. Some of the areas where we outperform other cities include communications, customer service, and the overall quality of city services, as well as the quality of our downtown.
Wow.
Yeah.
How does the city use this survey results? I mean, those are some very positive numbers which say we're doing okay, we're doing a pretty good job. So how does the city take all this data in and use it?
Well, really, this survey provides us with a lot of areas where we're successful, but it also gives us some areas where we need improvement. This year, and these areas aren't really surprising, were the overall fairness of city taxes and fees, the overall quality of jobs in the economy, and then visibility of police in our neighborhoods. So what we do is we use this feedback to help us enhance our services and to better satisfy our citizens. Just as an example, we use these results to help refine our budget, and several departments take these results back to staff and address existing programming to adapt to meet the current needs of our community.
Well, there's a lot of good data in this survey, so where can residents see or get a copy of the ETC Residential and Business Survey for the City of Des Moines?
Well, the survey itself is available online, and it can be found at our website, www.dmgov.org. It's under the City Manager's Office, and then it's underneath of the Performance Measure Program tab.
The city has another measurement tool it uses called the Performance Report. It's a printed document, and it tells us, can you tell us at least when this is available to the public and what's inside a performance report?
Sure, yeah, we are really excited to bring this report to our citizens. The City of Des Moines Performance Report will be available in print as well as online at the end of June.
Okay. What can residents learn from a performance report? What does it tell us?
So the report is really our way of sharing with our citizens what we've accomplished over the last 2 years, and it also, and the things that we've done to really make Des Moines a better city, a better place to live.
Well, you can just look around with all the changes and constructions and see a lot of the things that we've done to change the landscape of our community.
Yes,
but the performance report has another very interesting feature because the Des Moines art community is involved in the production of this publication. Tell us about that. What role do they play?
This is a relationship that we've built with the Greater Des Moines Public Art Foundation. They have generously provided a grant to provide awards to the winners of an art competition.
Okay.
So each year we incorporate art from members that have strong ties to our community into the performance report. It's a pretty unique way of telling our story, and this year is pretty specific. We're featuring the theme where we live. So the art pieces are supposed to reflect an essence of Des Moines and the community that we've built here.
And one of the things that's interesting, we've been doing the performance report for a couple of years. I know initially we had, my office spent some time with it, and it has actually helped launch some careers for some artists, isn't that correct?
Yes, I've heard that's been true, that the last report came out before I was an employee here at the city, but my understanding is it's been very successful for our local artists, and the feedback from them has been very positive.
Yeah, so up-and-coming artists probably want to pay attention to it, take a look at it, and find out when we're going to do the next one. The city has for some time now utilized the internet as a communication tool. So you know that we have a website, and of course you know there's email and subscribe. People who subscribe to that get our press releases via email and road announcements. But lately, the City of Des Moines has been gradually introducing social media tools. So Laura, tell us a little bit about that. How is social media being used at this time by the City of Des Moines?
Well, the City of Des Moines has been using social media for a while now, and it's been pretty exciting. We see that in departments like the police department and library, even Public Works uses it. Just this past month, we launched our official City of Des Moines webpage, which can be found at, I believe the username is Des Moines Gov. And we launched the performance report artist selection off of that, which is pretty exciting. So we wanted to do a People's Choice Award in our performance report this year, and we launched our Facebook page with a popularity vote there through Facebook.
Wow, that is a good use. Now, I know when you have all of these different social media tools, and of course you have some that have already been out there, like the police department and the library, which has really been using it. Does the City of Des Moines have a social media policy?
Yes, we do. In fact, we've recently adopted a new policy for this type of technology.
Okay, so why do we have a policy? Why is that necessary for everybody in our organization to have a policy to follow for social media?
Well, for many reasons. This tool is new to us, and so we don't have a familiarity with it. So really what we want to do is to utilize this tool to interact with the public. We also want to ensure that the information that we're providing them is both accurate and appropriate, as well as up to date. As you know, today in technology, we want to make sure that all of the information we're sharing is kept up to date and up to speed. Tools like Facebook and Twitter do exactly that.
Why does an organization like a city government need a Facebook page? I mean, people are probably saying, why are we doing that?
For us, we really feel it's another way to communicate with our citizens. You can never have too much communication with people. And in government, we want to make sure that we have the ability to keep in contact with them and make sure that we can respond to their questions within a timely fashion. So Facebook, in a lot of ways, or other social media tools, is a great way to keep in touch and continue to communicate with our public.
Well, this month you will find a communication in your mailbox from the City of Des Moines, and of course it's our quarterly newsletter called City Source. And in that there will also be an article and some information about our use of social media. So you want to be sure to check that out because there'll be important links and other information that you can use. Laura, thank you so much for being our guest today.
My pleasure.
You have provided us with a wealth of information, and if viewers want to know more, they can get information from the city website, which is www.dmgov.org. One of the clear signs of spring and summer in Des Moines is construction season for the city's engineering department. Just about anywhere you travel across the city, you'll see projects underway, everything from bridge repair to street improvements. City Engineer Jer Brewer will be joining us in just a few minutes to give us an update. But first, here is City Update with Shekinah Young, who has news for you from other city departments. Shekinah?
The City of Des Moines continues to fly high above the competition, and our 2011 Resident Satisfaction Survey illustrates that fact. With an overall quality of life satisfaction rating above 85%, the City of Des Moines aims to provide the best services to visitors and residents. The survey results are available on the city's website at www.dmgov.org/departments/city manager. Or give us a call at 515-283-4500. We want to continue to meet the needs and expectations of our residents and would like to hear what you have to say. Visit our new public forum website focused on neighborhood and planning issues at www.revitalizedesmoines.com. Resident involvement in local decision-making is a priority, and here's your chance to tell us your views. Currently, there are over 140 people participating. Some current trending topics are the Lower Beaver neighborhood, what topics would be best for neighborhood educational forums, and Grays Lake neighbors are talking about cleaning up 9th Street and improving McCray Park. Log in today and share your thoughts. We're waiting to hear from you. Are you getting a late start on your spring cleaning? No worries, the City of Des Moines Public Works has you covered with Scrub, spring cleanup to remove urban blight. The scrub date for the month of May is Saturday, May 19th, 7 a.m. until 2 p.m. Please take household waste items such as trash containers, general trash including furniture, lawn mowers without fluids, televisions, computers, tires of any size, appliances, air conditioners, refrigerators, freezers, microwaves, and more to the Metro Waste Authority Transfer Station at 4198 Delaware Avenue. And don't forget, all yard waste is accepted only at the Metro Waste Authority Compost Center, located at 1601 Harriet Avenue. Construction of the 63rd Street Bridge is underway. The bridge is nearly 100 years old and due for reconstruction. The entire bridge will be demolished and reconstructed, closing both lanes of traffic in early May with detour signage posted. For more information on city construction projects, visit the engineering page on the city's website at www.dmgov.org/departments/engineering. Remember, the Des Moines City Council and all boards work for you. Come down to City Hall, located at 400 Robert D. Ray Drive, during any of the following open board meetings. City Council Workshop will be held Monday, May 7th and May 21st at 7:30 a.m. City Council will meet Monday, May 7th and May 21st at 4:30 p.m. Planning and Zoning Commission will meet Thursday, May 3rd and May 17th at 6 p.m. The Zoning Board of Adjustment will meet Wednesday, May 23rd at 1 p.m. And the Park Board will meet Tuesday, May 22nd at 5 p.m. I'm Shekinah Young, and that's your City Update.
I have the privilege and the responsibility of directing a Shakespeare troupe. It can be challenging, but it's always compelling, and it's always a learning experience. I learn a lot from what Shakespeare has written, and I learn a lot about what people bring to Shakespeare. Shakespeare is a treasure chest in terms of all the characters that he contains. You look at all those people inside that treasure chest, and you learn a lot about life. My name is Lorenzo, and I geek Shakespeare.
Do you ever wonder who builds the beautiful streetscapes across the city or the new landmark bridges that have transformed the landscape of our community? Well, it's the work of the City of Des Moines Engineering Department, and this month they are right in the middle of their busiest construction season. City Engineer Jeb Brewer is here to tell us about some of the major projects. Jeb, welcome to City Talk.
Thank you.
And I know you're busy, so thank you so much for coming and taking a little time to spend with us. I'd like to begin first by telling our viewers what are the responsibilities of the engineering department.
Well, primarily one of our responsibilities is to build infrastructure for the city. Infrastructure is just a word for the streets, the sewers, the buildings, the parks. Basically anything that the city owns, we would have built it through a contractor. We also have responsibilities for development. When private developers come in, we work with the community development department in ensuring that the infrastructure that they put in is compliant with what we need as far as water and sewer, and so that your services are available when you need them. And in addition to that, we have some other functions such as right-of-way acquisition, and in addition to that, we have the parking system, that we have a few parking ramps and parking lots downtown, the meters, and traffic control devices such as traffic signals, stop signs. Those are some of the areas that our department has responsibility for.
Wow, pretty much everything in the city. Well, the city has built some new structures, and some of them are even green structures. The last couple of years, we've got a new library and some other things going up. What role does engineering play in that?
Well, we become the construction agent. A department has a need that they need a new building, or the city has something that they need built, and so we'll help procure those services and help build the building for them. The city's had for a number of years, had a new emphasis on trying to be as energy efficient and as environmentally conscious as we can be, and as part of that, we've had some building programs where we've implemented a lot of new energy saving things. One of them is a Franklin Library, which just opened last year, and
which is fantastic.
And it's a very, very efficient building. There's this term called LEED certification, and that's basically a standard that you can compare one building on how efficient it is to another building. And it's more than just energy, it's also water use and using materials which are environmentally sensitive, that don't outgas dangerous fumes and things like that. And the Franklin Library, we're hoping to get a platinum certification, which is essentially the highest level you can get.
That's right, that's the top of the ladder.
And in that project, we also are doing some LEED certification. Right now we're building Fire Station 1 over just south of downtown. People might be noticing that. It's right next to the new shelter, homeless shelter, which is being constructed at the same time. There's also a fire train logistics facility out on Dean Avenue, which we're constructing. And both of those have elements of energy conservation, such items as geothermal wells, being able to extract cooling and heating from the earth that saves energy over the long term. And so we look at all those aspects, and sometimes they're nice big flashy projects like Franklin Library, and sometimes there's the little things that you can do that make a difference. Citizens may notice that there are some new windows in City Hall and the police station. Those are much more energy efficient than the older windows. The older windows were single pane, these are double pane. And so we look for areas to try to save energy and conserve our resources where we can.
That's wonderful. I'm interested in the fire training logistics. I know we broke ground on that, I think, last year. Where are we on that?
They're still working on it. Later this year, they hope to open that up. And there's a lot of things that will do for the fire service. It's as far as maintenance of their vehicles and also training the fire service to be more efficient and safer. And there's a lot of things inside that building that may look kind of plain, but as far as their equipment and shelving that have to be installed before that gets completed.
Well, I know you have so many projects. So how many projects do you have scheduled for this year? I'm talking roads, bridges, buildings this season.
Well, we have about $150 million of open construction, which is ones that we've already awarded last year and continuing to work on this year, and we'll be awarding some more this year. And of those, we work really hard to try to get grants. Some of those are grant funded. Again, they might be a project as small as a parking lot or some sidewalk, or it might be as large as building a new fire station, which is one of our larger projects.
You know, it's interesting. You can see that a large chunk of our tax dollars go to build our infrastructure, which we pretty much look at as our city, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a significant amount of tax dollars, although there are opportunities, and we take a biggest advantage we can of getting grant funds. There were some funds available in the stimulus package a number of years ago, and we were successful in getting those. There are also times there are programs for flood prevention. We work on levees and storm sewers and pump stations, and we look to try to get funds for those. Last year, we were able to secure almost $100 million of grants for various projects across the city, from energy grants to flood mitigation grants. We've gotten millions of dollars to buy out homes that the repetitive flood, so that we reduce our risk and move citizens to a safer area. So all those kind of add up, but there is also some tax dollars that go into keeping our roads and sewers. Your sewer fees that you pay monthly, or storm sewer fees.
Through our water bills. Those are fees that we see on our water bills, yes.
So those fees are used to pay for these improvements that serve the whole community and make the quality of life that we have here in Des Moines possible.
Okay. Like most people, you see these construction projects, you see the signs start to pop up. So which ones are major construction jobs that will impact, say, the majority of motorists or many of our motorists here in the Des Moines area?
Well, people on the east side have probably already noticed that we've started the Indianola Avenue widening phase 2. We've already done the first phase, now we're into the second phase. And that road we've had to close down to rebuild the section.
And that's right off of Southeast 14th?
Yeah, we've done the piece from Southeast 14th. This is the piece that's near McKinley up to where we ended the construction a year ago. We'll be working on that this year. It's going to have a lot of continued amenities as a bike lanes. There's going to be a multi-purpose trail. People may have noticed that there's been recently a dog park opened at Ewing Park. And as part of this road project, we're going to be building a pedestrian pathway underneath the road. So you'll be able to walk from Easter Lake over to Ewing Park without having to cross the road. There'll be a pedestrian tunnel. So that we're taking advantage of the road construction to put in some of these amenities.
That's very nice.
And that's obviously disruptive to traffic. There's another one that hasn't started yet, which is we're looking to do some bridge work. Des Moines being on two rivers, we have a number of bridges, and we have to keep those in proper maintenance so that they don't deteriorate and cause hazards to the traveling public. We're going to be working on 6th Avenue over the Des Moines River. Most of the summer, there'll just be lane restrictions, so you'll be able to get through there, but there'll be fewer lanes, so there'll be maybe slow your commute down, so you need to be aware of that. That hasn't happened yet. It'll be in probably the next month. We'll be closing that down. Another one that's going to be a very major disruption is we're looking to completely rehabilitate the Grand Avenue Bridge over Walnut Creek. This bridge is just near the intersection of 63rd and Grand.
My main route.
We're working very hard to get that replaced. I mean, the bridge is almost 100 years old, the main part of the bridge.
Really?
And it's time for it to be replaced. And that bridge has to be completely replaced. Unlike 6th Avenue, where we're just repairing the deck, this one needs to be built from the ground up. And it's going to require completely demolishing the bridge and building a new one in the exact same place. I know people have asked why we couldn't build a bridge on the side and move traffic over there when we're done, but if you look at that area, we have flood walls in place, and we have to get the bridge fit there.
And those were very expensive to put in.
And we can't move those, and floodgate. We've got the railroad tracks. There's a lot of constraints on that site, so it's going to be a difficult project.
How long do you think it's going to take?
Well, we'll be looking to actually close the road down probably first part of May, and it won't open back up until November. And in November, we'll open it up to 3 lanes, one through each way and a turn lane. And then by the end of the year in December, we'll open up to all 5 lanes.
Yeah, this seems like a perfect time to ask about signage, because there's probably going to be a lot of different signage motorists will need to pay attention to. Can you give us a little input on that?
We will have detour signs posted. We're hoping that a lot of this is commuter traffic, and so that people are aware of this, they can actually have alternate commuter routes that don't even use Grand, stay on 235, University, Park Avenue, and kind of avoid that area. We do want to tell people the businesses are open so that they can continue to visit those businesses. And you know, we're going to do our best to get it done as quickly as possible, but it's just a necessary part of replacing bridges that we have to do this occasionally.
You know, another big project would be the Des Moines Riverwalk, or the principal Riverwalk downtown. And it's been a work in progress for some time now. Are we near completion?
Yeah, the Riverwalk is really a series of projects that we've been working over a number of years. Some of them, people probably notice the Center Street Bridge is the big arch bridge.
Yeah.
Then there's a lot of trail pieces. There's pieces in front of the new World Food Prize. There's a kiosk building called the Hub Spot over on Court Avenue, which will be opening up this summer. There's a pump station, and just recently, Principal Financial Group, in order to complete this up, has made a very generous donation of about $3.5 million to complete the last segment. So there'll be another contract awarded this summer, and the goal is by the end of this year, we'll have the completed work of Principal Riverwalk, all the trails.
Wow.
And we're just about there. It's been a long process. It's a beautiful improvement, and we're really thankful for the support that we've had from the local community and primarily Principal Financial Group.
It is beautiful. Well, everybody knows that the cost of living has gone up, so we know the cost of labor and materials have probably gone up as well. How does that impact your budget with all of these projects?
It's true. Energy is a big part of construction. The last couple years, construction prices have not gone up. We've been in a recession, and that's kind of impacted prices. However, prices are rising, and we're seeing that in our bids where the prices are considerably higher than they were last year, and really the contractors don't have any choice. You know, they have to pay $4 gasoline like everybody else,
Yes.
and that's reflected in those prices. So it does impact us. There are times that we just have to do less work because there's only so much money.
Yeah, there's only so many dollars available.
And it impacts us another way is when the gas prices are higher, people don't drive as much. Some of our infrastructure is funded through a road use tax, which is the tax on gasoline that people pay. When people drive less, they use less gasoline, there's less money available for the improvements to the roads.
So, oh, well, that kind of makes me feel good when I fill up, so that those tax dollars are coming back into our community to fix our roads.
To fix our roads and
Well,
bridges.
that makes it a little bit better, a little bit better. We're running out of time here, but let me ask, most people want to know about street paving. You know, that's a big issue for us. And I know that both you, engineering and public works, are both involved in that kind of work. Can you just talk about that for a little bit for us?
We have a number of programs that we do for street improvements. Some of them are major projects like Indianola that I mentioned that takes years of planning, and there are also times where we do repair work, overlay projects, and Public Works puts together a program which we'll send out shortly here. We haven't gotten the list of streets identified completely yet for what we'll be doing. Typically, Public Works will inspect the streets after the winter and try to determine which ones are in the worst condition to put on the list for overlays. Fortunately, this has been a fairly nice winter, so the Public Works crews are already out doing minor repairs, and later this summer there will be overlay programs, and when those streets are identified, they'll be posted on our city website, so it's always good to visit that website and look at streets that will be overlaid, and there'll be a number of residential streets which we overlay every year.
And so we want to go to www.dmgov.org, click on...
You could click either on Public Works or Engineering Department, and you'll see on the side there'll be a list of paving programs and construction projects.
All right, well, before we run out of time, I think residents really would like to know if there is a way to contact, I guess, engineering or Public Works if they have some concerns about streets. I'm assuming that's usually Public Works.
Yeah, Public Works does have a 24-hour number to contact them for like potholes and immediate things. Obviously, if there's concerns with construction projects, we do put signs up by that construction project that identifies the inspectors and the contractor, and those numbers can be called if there's any need that there's something that seems to be going awry or amiss at that construction site.
Okay. Well, Jeb, there's so much more going on in your department, but of course we're out of time, but I want to thank you for taking time to come and visit with us and share this information with our audience.
You're welcome.
Okay, that wraps up this edition of City Talk. I hope you will join us again here on DMTV, City Cable Channel 7. Every month we will visit a different city department and bring you new information about the services and facilities in our community. Today's program can be seen again during the dates and times now listed on your television screen. You can also watch Channel 7 online. Go to www.dmgov.org and click on Watch Live. We're also on YouTube. Go to the web pages for the Public Information Office and you will find the links. www.youtube.com/City of Des Moines, Iowa. Watch any of DMTV's shows anytime you want to with video on demand. You will find those links on the Public Information Office page. DMTV is provided to the City of Des Moines by Mediacom Cable. You will find us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in the basic cable tier on Channel 7. For more information, visit the City of Des Moines webpage, again, www.dmgov.org. I'm Amelia Hamilton Morris. Thank you for watching.